Hello everyone, and welcome to our usual live analysis. Depending, of course, on the big events of the week. So this week it was all about ECB. We have seen a lot of pricing in from the markets ahead of the ECB, prior ECB. So now it's out there as expected, without any change of the policy settings. However, as already mentioned several times this week, the focus was not really about the rates, but it was on Ms. Lagarde and remains on Ms. Lagarde and on the press conference. So right now we have the press conference live. Okay, so but later on, after the press conference, Ms. Lagarde she's gonna have another speech. Like I believe it should be 2 hours after the. 1 hour and a half, maybe 2 hours after the press conference is done. So that was the main intention. And more precisely, the focus was solely on what kind of stance will the ECB hold, and also how cautious Ms. Lagarde will be. What is she stating? So for the time being, because I'm watching live the comments and the feedback from the press conference as I speak to you, we can see that even though the rates were held unchanged, however, as soon as Ms. Lagarde stated that there won't, as I stated, let me find the exact word, there is no need for ECB to overreact to euro. We have seen suddenly euro dollar boosting higher to 184, 118.90 more precisely. So sorry, at the same time, I'm watching the comments, the feedbacks, and all the headlines from the ECB press conference. So as I can see, she's already delivered some remarks on regards to the monetary policy outlook in this press conference that it just started just 10 minutes ago. So as she stated, the strength of the recovery remains surrounded by a lot of uncertainty. Domestic demand recorded significant recovery as well. There is a lot of uncertainty that weighs more precisely on the European consumer spending, and more precisely the business as well, the businesses and the business investment, and inflation said it was dampened by the lower energy prices. However, the key and what actually should actually explain this jump of euro dollar up to 118.90, it should be that over the comments in regards that there is no need to overreact in euro gain. So let's keep it as it is for now, at least. This is what could have been interpreted from the markets as some kind of a hint that they will not change anything for now, and they will not really considering controlling somehow euro. Let me double check what's going on. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Let me check my chat. I cannot see any comments, guys. I'm here to help anyway. So please feel free to ask anything you want. Okay. So I can, okay. Hopefully you can hear me. So let me put also my chat on. Okay, perfect. And as I was telling you, the ECB, of course, they will pay attention to the FX rates. Of course, they will monitor. However, they are not willing, as I can see from my headlines. I have the Bloomberg TV in front of me. I can see that they said they will monitor, but they won't really change anything. I don't see any comments, so hopefully you can hear me. Okay. So my colleague will double check that you can hear me, because I'm worried that I don't have any questions neither from Facebook or YouTube, and I know that we're live right now on both channels. So yeah, what I was telling you about, yeah, you can see that this jump. So let me just, you can see this jump. It was a bit of a consolidation all day long, actually, since last night. And we have the jump, not on the rate decision, but on the press conference. So let me just, at the same time, I'm checking also the news, the headlines, as I told you. So at the same time, let's not forget that we had the initial jobless claims. Apparently, they haven't really changed. They remain at 184,000 claims, very, very close to the reading at one that it was revised from 181,000. So that was the dollar really ignored. Let me just switch to the dollar. So the dollar actually largely ignored the data, and what we've seen right now is pretty much due to the ECB, but also on the PPI as well. We had the producer price index released at the same time with ECB and the jobless claims. However, let me just share this with you somehow. Let me share the calendar with you because I want to show you something. Share screen, settings, share Chrome. So this is our calendar. Hopefully you can see it. These are the data. You can see that ECB was held unchanged. Initial jobless claims, however, can you see that it came in line with the previous week. However, it was revised higher. So that can be interpreted as negative for okay, thank you. Here we are. Sorry for that. So this is our calendar. So as I was saying, we can see that it came in line with the previous month, with the previous week. Sorry, but what is actually a bit of a concern is the fact that we have seen a revised higher from the previous reading. So the previous reading was 181, but now has been revised higher, 184,000. Okay. While on the flip side, the continuing jobless claims, the weekly ones, also came higher than expected, and they have revised slightly higher as well. You can see that there's a difference around that should be 40,000. While interestingly, the producer price index has spiked expectations. It shows some kind of a positive sentiment. So it's a bit of a mixed US session so far. So let me stop sharing this tab and let me get back to the charts. Okay. Here we are. So here we are. Perfect. So initially we have seen a muted reaction. If I put just the 30-minute chart, so a muted reaction, but later on we have seen a decline of the dollar index lower to 92, should be 92.80 territory. As there is a slight increase in the continued jobless claims, and also, however, a better than expected producer price index outcome. So this is something that didn't really help dollar. Sorry. So we have seen that there is a pressure on dollar. Because of the revised lower of those jobless claims. Okay, so that clearly states that it's a poor report if you prefer. It doesn't show a continuation of that downtrend that we were speaking in regards to the labor market in the US. So it's a bit, it shows that it has stalled. That is something that weighted on the dollar. But as I said, let's turn back to the euro dollar, because ECB it's actually one of the biggest movers, the biggest drivers of the market right now. I can see that Ms. Lagarde just stated that the long term, it's just changed, that the fiscal measures should be targeted temporarily. So this is suggesting that they will keep the PPP program unchanged, the guidance as well. So they will run it at least until the middle of next year. And also, as according to the headlines that I'm getting, it looks that ECB is ready to adjust all instruments as necessary. Nothing really changed other than the fact that they don't really not care. They don't really. It's not in their concerns the strength of the euro for the time being, at least. Let me check again the headlines. Also, similar to Fed, we can see that they have changed the September forecast in regards to the inflation. So as I can see over here, they have changed a bit their forecast. However, the headline inflation is likely to remain negative in the coming months and to turn positive in 2024, so in the next year. So this is what she noted. She noted that the euro will put downwards pressure on inflation. So they have actually, they are stating that their forecast is at 0.3% in the inflation in June, a slight rise up to 1% for the 2021 and up to 1.3% for 2022. That's their forecast, their ECB's September forecast. So they see some kind of a higher inflation in the upcoming years. So do we have more news? No. She's taking some questions now from the reporters. So I think I already informed you about the most important comments from her. I will keep an eye on it as soon as we get something new from her in this, as she's getting the questions from the reporters. However, for the time being, is what we already stated. So inflation will remain negative in the coming months. So for the remaining of 2020. So they will probably take an action on December's meeting. This was something that it was pretty much expected, but they are actually raised their forecast for the years ahead rather than for the months ahead. So so that's it for now. We're gonna have, of course, as I stated, she's gonna give another speech in. Actually, it was in 4 hours time, so it's tonight at 5 GMT. So that will be very, very interesting. It might add a lot of volatility in the market. So 5 GMT time, Ms. Lagarde will give another speech by her own. Okay, not like a press conference like that one, the one that they are right now. They are live right now, but she will be alone. She's gonna have a speech, and actually. I don't know where that speech will take place, but I assume we're gonna see whether she will keep a dovish tone or not. Okay, guys, it's time for your questions, and I will go through the charts. Here we have euro dollar. Okay. It's more than 24 hours now. Okay, I see that there are some complaints in regards to your accounts. Please contact support team, please. We have a 24/5 support team. They are very, very kind, and they will help you as soon as possible. Okay, please, Obio, send your request to support, and they will try to help you ASAP. Okay, please do so. Okay, guys, this is your time. Okay, this is a live analysis through social media. So I will go through the charts. I will discuss everything that I can in regards to fundamentals and technical analysis. But if you want me to cover a particular asset and instrument, maybe something that you're struggling with, or anything that you want to ask, I'm here to help. This is your very own session, so I'm here to help you, okay? So let's see euro dollar. Let's start with the 1 hour chart. It's getting strengthened. Let me put also the pivot points on. Actually, I will use my intraday chart. That should be this is a huge candle. Should have already broken all the pivot points by now, so 118.96 for the time being. Let me zoom out a bit, and actually it broke the September's resistance, actually more than a week's resistance. As you can see, this is a huge candle in this 1 hour chart. Let me remove the caption. Here we are. You can see that it broke above yesterday's highs at 118.31. Sorry, it broke the 200 hours moving average. Okay, Ms. Lagarde is just stating that very likely that full PPP program will be used. Okay, so now she's clearly stating that they're gonna use pretty much all their tools. So okay, and they're gonna put the full gear in their purchase program. That's why I'm seeing this candle keep stretching to the upside. So just retested 119, round number, a key psychological level. And actually, it should have already reversed more than 50% of the decline that we have seen in September. Yes, that's correct. So I can see from this pivot that is above the midpoint of this sharp decline. So the real support in the next, it's just 10 pips above it at 61.8, 119.11 area. That's the very next key level to be watched. Don't forget that 61.8 is a strong retracement level according to Fibonacci theory. So if it managed to break that as well, then we might keep an eye on the high areas, on the high 120s area. Okay, so strong candle just 4 minutes before the candle close. So it will be very interesting to see whether it will remain as strong as the one that we are seeing right now. So for the time being, momentum looks very strong. RSI already crossed 70. It is in the overbought territory. MACD extends its lines further to the downside. I will go down to the 30 minutes chart to see whether there is any kind of a reversal signal. But as it seems, is the momentum indicators over here still hold positive. They are positively configured. So let's wait and see. We put the chart on. Paco, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. I didn't see any question from you, so I don't know what you're waiting for, I'm afraid. Sorry, please clarify. I've been blowing my account. My friend, you should put some risk management in your trading. Please see our risk management webinars. They will help you a lot than the money management webinars. Hi, just want to know if you do this analysis every day, or if so, what times during the day. So, okay, dear Gaid, actually we are providing two webinars, 2 live analysis per month. Actually, up to now was 4 live analysis per month, like every Tuesday. We have a live analysis webinars, so you can register on those through our website. Okay, if you go to the website, you can find our webinars over there, and you can register in live analysis. However, in regards to the social media analysis, so like Facebook and YouTube, we tend to give one every week. Usually it's on Thursday or Friday, but this depends really on the calendar. So usually we're doing it on Fridays because NFP's Friday usually. So today, however, I decided to have this live analysis because ECB is on Thursday. So depending on the calendar, pretty much on the economic calendar, and what is the spotlight every week. Okay, but as I told you, other than the social media live analysis, we have a live analysis webinars in which you can register, and this tends to be every Tuesday. Okay, so feel free to register. They are free anyway, so you don't lose anything. Okay, thank you for asking. Okay, let's move on. Let's move back to, let's see pound, what's going on with pound. So we've seen the last hour, actually pound, if you check, we have a bit of indecision over here. So I assume that the jobless claims, on the one hand, the disappointing jobless claims, a poor report. And on the other hand, the Brexit-related news, they have kept cable in a very steady, in a big indecision. This is a huge doji candle, just closed, a long tail to the downside, a long tail to the upside, a very small body that's just clear indecision in the market. So let's discuss a bit about the Brexit until we have further news from Ms. Lagarde. So as you might already notice, there is a lot of, we have some rising concerns, rising odds in regards to a no-deal Brexit. And that started since Sunday because of some comments from the UK government. So apparently, the UK government just published a legislation. So actually they amended the withdrawal agreement, okay? The so far withdrawal agreement between the UK and EU, and they have provided a new legislation, amended legislation that clearly breaks the international law. And they actually admitted something like that. They admitted that they have break the international law, but in a more limited way. So this has risen the odds of a potential no-deal Brexit. Even though the odds are very low, we still, the percentage-wise, the odds are not on no-deal, trade deal Brexit side. But all this fussle, okay, in regards to Brexit is very bearish for pound. That's why we've seen pound actually, zoom out a bit, we've seen declining in the whole September, but having a very sharp decline this week after Mr. Boris stated about the new legislation. The new legislation is already published, I think, yesterday afternoon, but also something that also adds further pressure on pound is the fact that today there will be an urgent meeting between the EU and UK joint committee. Something that adds further pressure to the pound, and on the top of it, let's not forget the pandemic and all that. So there are also other considerations on the UK's domestic front. So aside from the fact that there is a new legislation that breaks international law, we are seeing the EU officials not willing to accept something like that. We have the resignation of the legal head of the UK government, something that suggests that there are inside problems. There are a lot of people against this decision in regards to an amendment in the legislation. The House of Lords also could at some point attempt to block this new legislation. So we have this as a background as well, as a concern, because clearly it's a legislation that breaks international law. And also, on the top of that, let's not forget that there are some regional lockdowns in UK. There is a new, if I'm not mistaken, there is a new restriction in regards to up to 6 people gatherings. I mean, there should be, if there is some kind of gatherings, either in-house or outside or in restaurants, should be up to 6 people. So all this is something that adds a lot of pressure on pound. So, other than that, there is a lot of infrastructure problems in UK. Okay, there is already a growing segment of the population that aren't really fearful of the coronavirus. So we can see further rise on the new infected cases. Anyway, the cases are rising. They haven't really stopped in UK, but without really, but as I was saying, without a corresponding rise in the serious illnesses as well. However, we have hospitalization of or deaths that will keep rising and rising in the UK, and there is actually majority of people that they don't know, they don't really care actually about the pandemic in UK. There is some kind of an acknowledgement in the UK, but other than that, as I said, all those localized lockdowns, the Brexit, the possibility of no deal, this opposition between the government and the UK officials, the possibility that the House of Lords could reject the legislation, all these add further pressure on pound, and in general there is another potential negativity for the pound. All these actually could boost pound further to the downside in the near future. So that was in regards to pound. It dips. It was keeping some kind of a consolidation mode so far today, but ahead of the ECB, we have a big dip, and due to the jobless claims, the revision higher of jobless claims, indecision. The next candle closed indecisively, but that doesn't necessarily mean a reversal signal, because we need the very next candle to close at least above 130 in order to suggest that we might see a rebound away from 129.20. For the time being, the overall sentiment of pound, as you can see in this daily picture, is on the downside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive days downside. Yesterday it closed positive, but with a long tail to the downside and a very small body. So that's just that the negative bias holds quite aggressively. So there's a lot of bears in the markets and bulls. So far today, it's below its open price. So the overall sentiment for pound from cable is negative. So the same situation stands also in momentum indicators. You can see RSI is below 50, flattened. So we might see a bit of consolidation. However, MACD decreases below signal line and is ready actually to get down to zero. If we see it also crossing below zero, then could confirm further steam to the downside. In the 1 hour chart though, only a return back to above 119, actually should be at least above 119. Let me find the spot. 119.780, which is the midpoint of this decline, of the last 3 hours decline. could suggest could suggest a rebound, but we need to see that candle closing above it, not just retesting it. Okay, so take care. You need to wait for the candles to close. You need to stick to a particular time frame, and you need to wait for the candles to close in order to see to identify whether the bias is negative or positive. So that was cable. Okay. Next support, if that breaks, if next resistance, if the 29.77 breaks, it will be at 130 area, round number, a key psychological level for pound, coinciding with the 20 period moving average in the 30 minutes chart, but also it's a 000 number, so you can understand that is a psychological level. So let me double check whether Ms. Lagarde stating anything else, and I will check also the questions since I have seen that there is one more. Okay, let me just quickly see what's going on. So as she's taking questions from the reporters, so she's saying she didn't really say anything new. Okay, no, actually she said just now, I don't know whether I could share somehow this report, but let me copy it. Actually, I will share it as a caption if I can. So she stated that 1.35 trillion of a purchase program will likely be used. So I'll just share that with you. Okay, 1.35 trillion of PPP, that's a purchase program, will very likely be used in full, according to Ms. Lagarde. So there was a debate in the US, ECB, about using their full stimulus tools, but apparently it looks like the doves have won already. So that explains why we keep seeing euro dollar posting higher. That's a very supporting comments, and that's why we've seen euro being well supported and ready to break 119 area. Okay, so it's a it's an extreme dovish stance from ECB right now. Okay, so okay, that was what continuously keeps the euro to the upside. Actually, let's check also DAX. Okay, why not? So okay, a bit of a muted reaction apparently. So steady actually since the EU open. It holds a floor at 13,200, and it holds the 13,300 unchanged. This high a bit unchanged. Very sideways reaction, a mute reaction if you ask me. Let me see FTSE whether we can see something similar to the very next major index in the European market in Frankfurt and London. Let me just, if I find it somewhere, maybe. I think I have it somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So, okay. FTSE has rebounded slightly, but not in a big success. You can see that there are small candles. However, it rebounded from 59.46, but with a small bullish candles follow, suggesting that there is a lot of momentum to the upside yet. However, we can see that it's moving, is posting higher highs. So let me hide this, okay? You can see that it's posting higher lows, and higher highs. So it has turned. It's like moving to the upside, and that can be explained due to the Brexit news that I told you. So higher. It's been supported, actually. FTSE has been supported by the weak pound. Okay, if pound is down, then FTSE tends to react positively. Okay, so let me see the questions. This is not a question. What's the minimum can trade with hot forex? Angela, if I'm not mistaken, it's up to $50. I think it should be, or even $5. My colleague just informed me that you can trade even $5. So it's just a coffee. So go for it. Why not? So $5. Okay, Angela. Thank you for asking. Oh, you had already a reply from Zail. Thank you, Zail. Can I trade volatility on hot forex? I'm not sure where you're referring to, Precious. If you're referring to the VIX, the volatility index, yes, you can. Okay, yes, you can. You can find all the information in our website. Okay, in the product page. Okay, so please visit the website and you can find everything about the volatility index. Okay, that's between you two guys. I don't, so I will hide this comment. This is between a conversation between Angela and Zyle. So let me continue. As I was saying, FTSE is showing some kind of an upwards channel because of the depreciation of pound. Another headline from Ms. Lagarde. She stated that ECB doesn't target euro level. Okay. So she's giving us some nice headlines, very catchy ones. I don't know whether she aims to just keep euro moving higher and higher. But there is a lot of conversation, as it seems, in regards to the FX market in this press conference, rather than inflation, the higher inflation, or their forecast in regards to the GDP. So Lagarde said risks remain on the downside on the growth outlook. So they are forecasting a rise in inflation the next years ahead, but they are forecasting downside pressure on the GDP and the growth outlook for the European economy. Okay, so let's move on, guys. I will stop saying about Lagarde, ECB, Brexit, and all this. I think I already taught you what you need to be aware for the next few hours and also for next week. So I will just quickly go through the charts. I can see that you don't really ask me for any particular asset that you want me to cover, so I will just go through the majors. Precious, I can see that you cannot find indices on my MT5 account, so you're using MT5 account. So okay, see, it should be very similar to MT4. So if you see this market watch over here, can you see this market watch over here? Right click, okay, and click show all. If you click show all, then probably you're gonna see your indices as well. Okay, hopefully I replied to your question. So we have seen FTSE trying to recover. Keep an eye on 113 areas, a strong resistance level, and the key support area will be on 119. Okay, guys, 119 a key support area to the downside. Round number, or if you want another key support area will be yesterday's lows at 128.85. Let's move on to yen. Yen, it was a bit on mix lately, so it is neutral to the but downside since the Asia session. Okay, dipped below 106.30 area. Right now it's at the lows of 106, okay? And it's facing some kind of risk on conditions, because it's a risk sensitive. Let's not forget that the yen is a risk sensitive asset. So we can see that yen is like gaining some ground against dollar. So weak dollar, stronger yen. However, it didn't manage to break the 106 area today. Remain shy of it. So a closure tonight, today, anytime today, below 106 could open the doors to 105.80 area, which had been retested yesterday, okay, as well. In the daily picture, however, this is the daily chart. This is clearly in a very, very neutral zone. He has been chopping for like 8 days in a row sideways in the daily picture, neutral to the downside in the intraday picture. Aussie commodity asset, commodity related asset bounced to the upside on dollar weakness. So so it jumped higher, it broke the 0.73 area, it broke the resistance of the week, and the very next area to be seen actually will be in the, okay, according to my channel, it will be the 17,340 area. That's the upper of my channel. And if that breaks, the next level to be watched will be the 0.74 area, which had broken last week. Let me just, out of curiosity, let me use my Fibonacci to see where it stands for. Yeah, it's just crossed above 50. So it would be interesting to see if it closed the day above 0.73 area, because that should mean that it has recovered more than 50% of 2 weeks losses. So this could open the doors further to the upside for Aussie. Dollar CAD continued to move lower and lower since yesterday. It returned, it just broke my latest fractal and is at 1.3130 and is moving further to the downside. The round 131 and the one which coincides with the 200 period moving average in this 1 hour chart is the very next resistance support area. I just saw a very, very interesting capture. Deflationary risks have receded according to ECB. So even though, let me put that line on. So according to ECB, the deflationary risks have receded. So that was the main concern actually today, because we can see that inflation is negative. But according to ECB, they have overcome somehow the possibility of deflation. Okay, so that was an interesting comment from ECB. So apparently, according to ECB, the deflation risk was higher in June, but now it's lower. The risks are much lower. So they said that they are overcoming this concern, this risk. So apparently, the fiscal action was taken rightly, according to them, in a timely manner, okay, in an efficient way. So they have overcome the risk of getting into deflation. So I don't know whether everyone is aware with the term deflation, but in simple terms, I will say that it generally means a reduction of the general level of prices in an economy. So it's a bad sign of a bad sign in an economy. Is clearly showing a weakening economy suggests that we're going to have falling prices that could lead to a lower consumer spending, and actually is a major component of an economic growth. Okay, the consumer spending. So lower consumer spending suggests no growth in the economy. Actually, a very weak economy. So just a comment. Dollar CAD dips to the downside. Canadian dollar benefits on the weaker dollar. So that is the temp. It looks like the strengthening of the dollar that we've seen yesterday, that was actually also driven by the tech stocks and the equity markets. It has quickly reversed. So we are getting back a weak dollar. So dollar CAD dip to the downside. Next support on 131.05. However, with momentum indicators also sloping lower, so weak intraday picture for dollar CAD, but the daily picture actually is a bit mixed, is a bit neutral, because we have weak oil prices lately. So as long as we don't have a confirmation that the dollar CAD is getting back to below 131 level, it closes today below 131, so it's getting back to the lower Bollingers, then we cannot really say that it's getting back down again to retest the 130 area. So we need to wait and see. Let's see US oil found some support area at 35 level. So, however, it jumped higher and is currently at 37.80. However, very choppy, as you can see. It's like stuck between the 37.20 and the 38.50 area. Narrow, flattening actually Bollinger Bands, Bollinger lines. And very narrow, that suggests consolidation. So the same situation stands according to the momentum indicators. Flatten at zero MACD lines. RSI just crossed 50, giving some signs of a positiveness. However, the overall picture intraday in the 1 hour chart remains neutral. As long as we don't see a move and a break of 38.50, then or a move back below 37, then the oil could actually hold within this ranking market. So let's see gold on the dollar weakness continue moving higher. So we have as we had a rebound since the European session, currently just broke the 1960 area, and more precisely and more interestingly, we can see that it already recovered the 50% of August actually the 3 weeks decline. And if I put that on the latest highs that we had on up to 2080 area, we can see that it's holding a nice rally above 23.6 level. So yeah, stronger gold intraday, broke 1960, overcome these 3 fractals, the 1950 area. So the next level to be watched would be at the next round area 1970, or more precisely in these latest fractals 1972. Last but not least, I will finish the session with an index, and I will get back to USA 500. Where is it? S&P 500, or at least Nasdaq. Should be somewhere here. Okay, I cannot really find it, but I will drag and drop it. So let me find it for you. Okay, here it is. USA 100. So we can see that actually the US market just opened. So we can see that this is the 1 hour chart of Nasdaq. We can see that it opened the session positively. So we can see that the US equity futures opened positive. They had a good rebound on Tuesday over here from these lows, the 10,900 lows, and it kept extending gains yesterday as well. And it seems that it has positively opened the session so far today, but right now is holding at 11,500, just 12 pips higher at the open. But let me just quickly put our Fibonacci on. We are seeing that the next resistance area is really at the 200 period moving average, which is at 11,600 area. That's the next resistance area, and the very next one would be at 11,700. So 11,700 is a strong level to be watched, a strong resistance area, because it's halfway of this decline that we have seen, of this correction that we've seen in this long-term rally. So it's halfway, and it's also above the 20-day moving average. So 11,700 is a key resistance area to be seen. To the downside, a key support area will be the latest low, actually, the 11,265. That's the today's low territory. Break of that territory, which coincides with my Bollingers, could lead down to this week's lows and the 10,000 area. Okay, that was Nasdaq. Let me get back to the chart, and if there are no more questions, I will call it a date. Okay, guys. Are you still facing? Oh, Precious. Okay, I replied to Precious. I replied to Angela. So yeah, I think there are no more questions. I can see you didn't want me to actually see any asset. That's a bit weird. So guys, I will call it a day. I cover all the majors. If there is any question that you want me to reply to, you can always contact us through social media. We have Q&As in Instagram every Tuesday. We have the live analysis webinars every Tuesday. We always hold a live analysis every week, either Thursday or Friday. But also we have you can contact us via email, or as I said, through the Hot Forex Facebook page and Instagram page as well. So if you have any further questions, you can contact us in social media or email address@webinars@hotforex.com. So I will call it a date since you don't have any questions. Next will be Miss Lagarde speech in 4 hours from now, less than 4 hours from now. So that would be the spotlight of the week. So keep an eye on it. It might cause a lot of volatility in the market. So take care. And always have the risk management and money management in your minds in order to save you from major losses. So take care. Have a great day ahead, and see you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.